All right, it's January 21st, 2021, 1/21/21. Waiting for VD to get home and didn't really feel like doing anything, so thought I'd just record myself for a few here. I should be reading my book, but I'm not because I'm lame. I guess an update here on how I'm doing and how my anxieties are doing. The answer is not well. I just made those book videos and I went back and rewatched a couple of my videos from like the fall time and realized how long it's been that my mental health has not been great, but it has changed. Back then I was feeling depressed. I was feeling sad, which includes a lot of anxieties. The two go hand in hand, but it was more on the sadness, depression side. Right now, the past month especially, I've been feeling more anxiety, crushing anxiety, constant anxiety, and not a lot of depression. I mean, again, they go hand in hand, so you feel a bit of that sadness, but I haven't felt depressed as much since January-ish. I have felt anxious. I don't know exactly when this started, but I did have an episode maybe a month-ish ago now with the dog, who's been a major anxiety trigger point for me. Just living with him, I think, and never being away from him and him being so old. But I thought it had been better because we cut the hair out of his eyes. We cleaned him up. So that was relieving. But he had this like sneezing episode in the middle of the night. That wasn't reverse sneezing, but he's like it was weird, and he couldn't stop, and he couldn't lay down. That's what was weird. Every time he laid down, he would cough himself awake again, and he was definitely having tracheal issues, and almost certain it has to do with his tracheal collapse, which the doctor diagnosed to a T a year or two ago. It's not as bad as it sounds, but it's something that happens. But regardless, I was up all night. I slept 2 hours tops, and my anxiety was through the roof. It was awful. I've never felt such oppressive anxiety, and a lot of it was because of the dog, but it went beyond that. And that's kind of from there. So the past month or so, I've just every day it feels like I am in a constant battle with anxiety. As in, if I'm not doing something, I feel anxious. And Vidi has always talked about this herself, so she knows where I'm coming from. But I have never experienced this before. I have always had major anxiety issues. I've battled depression. They're not new feelings to me, but the way in which they're happening is new. I can't pin any single reason for this anxiety. In the past, I usually could. It's usually something. But lately, it's just always there. I can't escape it. And it's pissing me off, truthfully. I was sad about it, but now I'm not sad about it. I'm just frustrated. So I wonder if this has been the problem this whole time for months and months now, and I just didn't know or couldn't acutely process it because I was just relating it to my experience with depression 10 years ago. Rather, this could be different. You know, it's not all the same. So I wonder if it's been like this for months now, the anxiety thing, or if it's just been the past month. But I've been battling it. I don't know what to do about it. I took a break from weed and alcohol just to see if maybe that was causing a problem, because I have found weed to be a great anxiety reliever. But I figured, I don't know, weed is new this year for me, so maybe that's why, but it doesn't seem to be. I feel exactly the same. I just miss my medicine, basically. When I want it, that was all that was different. Not in an addictive way. It was fine. So I don't think it was that, which kind of bummed me out, but it also was relieving because I don't want to lose weed because I really enjoy it. So I think I'm happy that that's not it, but I almost wanted it to be so I could get better. So I'm trying to convince myself to figure out my insurance stuff so I can go to the doctor and get medicated. That's where I'm at. Because I am losing this fight constantly. It's getting worse. Like I need to like put earbuds on and it just like relaxes me so I stop hearing other noises and I can just zone out and finally relax. And I mean, lately, with that in mind, I've been thinking, I mean, could this be auditory processing related? Because that's a thing that people with it do. It just sounds in general trigger them and it soothes them. So it could be because I put white noise on. Even so, just like not even this, like just the sound of a fan. A literal white noise. It's like an airplane carriage sound and it soothes me. So that's nice. These little fixes have been nice, but they're not what I want. I just want to be back to me. And then the other, of course, monkey wrench in it is the quarantine. I had and have continued, I guess, to struggle with just being alone all the time, but I feel like I kind of got over that hill a little bit, but maybe I didn't. I mean, if I'm being honest with myself, maybe I didn't, right? Maybe I guess, loneliness and isolation is, maybe I've rationally gotten over it, but behind the rationality and just emotionally and the way it affects you, maybe it's still affecting me. The lack of socialization. I don't know. It does seem plausible, right? So, that monkey wrench, because I don't want to be medicated if I can not be, because it's just, it's hard to get off them and try to find the right stuff. And I don't know if it's not something anybody wants to do. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to do it if you need it. I just don't want to need it. But I am, for now, if I can will myself to get the doctor stuff going, but it's such healthcare. Ugh. So that's my thoughts on the healthcare. It's just hard to deal with and navigate, and it stresses me out. I don't know if there's anything else I really had to say about that at this time. Basically, it's late January 2021. Past month or so, anxiety has been really bad. Can't seem to push through it. I have a handle on it, but it is straining me. I think it's a good word. And I don't like that it strains Vita either. Not that she'd ever admit it. She keeps talking about how good she's been feeling lately. So that's great. But my own neurosis, I obviously feel like it's not true. Because I'm insane and worried about making anybody's life more difficult. That's a major problem that I have. I don't like making people's lives more difficult. A people pleaser, as it were. Great problem. Another problem that I have. I'm self-diagnosing today. It's what I do. I fancy myself smarter for being able to process or identify my emotions and work with them as if they're something malleable outside of me that I can just physically change how I like. Yeah, I guess that's it for now. Anxieties are bad, but I'm doing okay, and it's already almost February. So, let's see what next week brings.